Hello, everyone. Hello to all the viewers, and hello to Professor Duarte that will be viewing this video. Welcome to Asancion, Paraguay. Some quick and weird facts about Paraguay. It is considered the weirdest, or let's say unique, among all the other Hispanic countries. And the word Hispanic falls under being Spanish-speaking language countries. Another special thing about Paraguay is that all the races you find there speak the native indigenous language, which is Guarani. Another weird fact is that people of the same race at some point in time were not allowed to marry each other, which is strange. Now, what and where? Asunción. Asunción is the capital city of Paraguay. It's bordered by the Paraguayan River. The House of Independence, a museum, is marked by its colonial architect and from the Spanish rule. It is very special, very rich in history. That is what signifies Paraguay as a country. Now, Asunción is considered the mother of all cities. Why is that? It's because it's the first city where the European explorers found in South America, which holds great value in Paraguay. Now, the river, or let's say the weather. Averaging 30 degrees Celsius temperatures in summer are very much live. However, you do get that tropical, humid, hot weather, which is not so satisfying. But nonetheless, it is beautiful and definitely a country you would want to consider visiting. Now let's talk about the food, and let me just say the food is absolutely delicious since it's mostly Latin American and Mexican. Not only that, Paraguayans are known as farmers or cattle breeders, meaning they love their meat. They even once held the world's largest barbecue with more than 30,000 attendees. That's huge. Almost everywhere you can find something called chipa. Chipa is like some kind of cheesy bread you can find in every street corner in Paraguay. Now, these are some of the activities you can do in Paraguay. Some museums, some parks, some historical artifacts that take you back in history. It is absolutely beautiful and very family friendly. The Trinidad and Tavaranju, I definitely consider visiting because, like I said, it takes you way back in history and it's just how rich it is that it's still standing to this day. Now, the Paraguay's Guarani language. It is very rich to know the Guarani language, and why is it so special? The first thing is that why is it being held to this day is because back in history, the mothers of these children were very keen upon teaching the children the Guarani language. And to this day, believe it or not, the Guarani language is considered the first language in Paraguay. Even more so than Spanish and English. You find more people speaking Guarani than Spanish and English. Guarani. So, a Guarani South American Indian group living mainly in Paraguay, speaking a Tupian language also called as Guarani. Guarani was designated an official language of Paraguay in the country's 1992 constitution, which wasn't very far ago. However, another strange fact is that Hopara is a mix of Spanish and Guarani, which you can find most people there speaking it. Here you can see in South America where the population is largely dense with Guarani-speaking people, and you can see that it's mostly around Paraguay. Now, who are the Guaranis? Guaranis are, back in history, they are the people who lived in the Paraguayan area for most of the time. However, during the War of the Triple Alliance or the Paraguayan War, they lost almost 70% of the population, which resulted in people coming in, immigrating from all different kinds of countries from all over the world. Germany, Ukraine, Italy, Australia, all these immigrated to Paraguay. However, even though they immigrated, the country itself and the language was still a priority in teaching, and it lived on to this day. Now, the social impact of Guarani. Despite that it is spoken by 7 million people all over South America, the indigenous Guarani people themselves are only considered to be 5% of the population, which are what are we talking about now? Indigenous Guarani people are about 300,000 only, which is weird considering that many people speak Guarani in the population themselves. Now, the summary of Paraguay itself. The country faced a devastating war that almost destructive and destroyed all the landmarks, all the history, all the future of Paraguay. However, it still held on, it still kept going to this day. The Guarani language is very special among the Paraguayans because it signifies them and makes them different from all these Latino and Hispanic countries. They isolated themselves in this utopian world, which is why they are called or known as the weirdos in the Spanish Hispanic world. That is basically a summary of Paraguay and what we are studying. These are rich history artifacts and the location of Paraguay themselves. I definitely would consider you visiting the country as it is beautiful and very rich in history. Now, questions I would like to ask the class. Would you ever visit Paraguay? Why do you think to this day a large population of Paraguay population speaks Guarani? Is superiorizing the Guarani language considered constructive? Are Guaranis weird because of their language? Why is the Guarani language the only indigenous language that exists and largely practiced to this day? Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned a lot. Thank you, Professor. Thank you to all the viewers. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.